This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good evening, Rabbi Sai. Baruch Mavam, Shalom Aleichem. We're continuing our series of Shiurim on Sefer Devarim. And Sefer Devarim is graciously sponsored by the Zakheim family, by Dr. Zakheim Umeshpachta L'iloi Nishmas, Rav Shlomo Eliezer ben Harav Yaakov Zakheim, and L'iloi Nishmas, Dr. Zakheim's mother Rivka Bas Tuvia Halevi. Their neshama should have an aliyah, be Melitza Yesharim for their whole family. For Simchas and Nachas, Gezint, B'suras Tovos Ad Bias Goel Tzedek. We have a number of sponsors for tonight's Shiur. So first of all, tonight's Shiur is sponsored by Rabbi Eliezer Jacobowitz, in honor and b'zchus his new grandson, which was named after his father, Shlomo, born to his children Heshi and Yehudis Brody. They should be zoicha legadloi, letoira, ulechupa, lemasim tovim. Tonight's Shiur is also sponsored by Reb Avremi Kitov for bracha v'hatzlacha for Chana Bas Yehudis, for her safe and easy delivery. They should be zoicha. This is of the illustrious Herman family. They should be zoicha to have a easy labor. Zara chai v'kayama. Zara dilo yivsak v'dilo yivtam v'skamei raisa. Tonight's Shiur is also sponsored by Yedidi Rabbi Yonatan Dagmi, in honor of his wife Adina. Also, Dagmi is Gematria 57, and we're going to come back to that in a minute. Also, tonight's Shiur is sponsored anonymously. Pay attention, I'm going to test you on this. Sponsored anonymously for Rafur Shalema for Bracha Devaira Bas Chava Shasha. She should have Rafur Shalema B'soch Sharcha LeYisrael. Okay, so a few very important announcements to make. First of all, I know you've been waiting with bated breath for the next trip. So the next trip is going to be to Morocco. You could check out on our site after Hanukkah, between December 25th and January 1st. There are many, many Kivrei Tzadikim. I have a book about 1,000 pages thick of Gedolim that are buried just in Marrakesh, just in one city. It's the biggest book you ever saw. So there, if you want to know who's buried there, it's who's not buried there, Just, okay. Anyway, also, if you didn't yet pick up your edition on the Yom Naram, the Mystery, you ever see this? The Mystery and the Majesty, you could get free delivery still, promo code Mystery. Now speaking about 57, Sefer Shemais, Maggid Harakiah on Sefer Shemais is completed. It's now in the hands of the publisher. And Maggid is also Gematria 57. So tonight's a good time to let everybody know if anybody wants to be mishtatef in the Sefer. It is available while the Sifrei Chaim are being opened. You have a chance to have a chelek in this upcoming Sefer. Also, this week we finished Masechta Yevamis in the Daf HaShavua. If anybody wants to join us for Masechta Ksubais, we meet Monday night, Tuesday night, 9:15 p.m. on Zoom. Sunday morning we have an Eon Shir. Shabbos afternoon we review. Okay, so here we go. Parshas Ki Savo. The pasuk says. Now I'm going to ask you a very interesting question. What are probably the three most frequent words in Sefer Devarim? You ever think about that? When you're lying down at night and you can't fall asleep, and you're trying to figure out a way. They asked Reb Chaim Kanievsky, what does he do when he falls asleep? He says he thinks about the names of the Amoram in the Gemara. So what do you do when you try to fall asleep? Don't answer that question, but I'm giving you a tip. The pasuk says in Parshas Ki Savo, in many places in the Devarim, the pasuk says, "V'shamata b'kol Hashem Elokecha." You should listen to the voice of Hashem your God. V'asisa etz mitzvaysa v'eschukav asher anoichi mitzavcha hayom. That I command you today. I command you today. You ever notice how frequent those words appear? Anoichi mitzavcha hayom. I command you today. It's again and again and again. It is one time after another. Anoichi mitzavcha hayom. Says the Chasam Sofer, these three words, Anoichi mitzavcha hayom, are repeated so many times, and therefore, says the Chasam Sofer, I'm going to let you know what Hashem told me about this. Listen to the words. Chasam Sofer writes in this week's Parsha, Oidiacha mashe hoidianu elokim bazeh. Now, this is not something that Chassam Sofer did every day. I want to let you know what God told me. But Chassam Sofer writes, B'peh Maleh, that he's going to let us know what Hashem told him. The Michtav Sofer, if you look at number 7, the son of the Chassam Sofer says, this expression means that he was told this information by none other than Eliyahu Hanavi. Okay? So this must be very special. Whatever we're going to learn tonight is a revelation that came to the Chassam Sofer. And he points out that the words Anoichi Mitzavecha Hayoim is Rashi Tevois Amma. You know what an Amma is? A hand's breadth from the tip of the middle finger until the elbow is a measurement of an Amma. Somehow, life is like an Amma. Okay? What are you going to do with that? Another Ha'ara the Chassam Sofer. There's a pasuk in Tehillim. The pasuk says, "Hine tefachos nasata yamai." Behold, tefachos you made my days. What's tefachos? A tefach. So somehow life is like an amma. You always thought life is like a bowl of cherries. No. Life is like an amma, and it's like tefachim, a hand's breadth. By the way, how many tefachim in an amma? The amma shel Torah is 6 tefachim. Okay, what does this mean? So the Chassam Sofer begins by analyzing a pasuk in Tehillim. Parakuf Mem Dalad pasuk Yud Gimel. The pasuk says, "Mizavenu," and number 5, our storehouses, Meleim Mefikim, are overflowing, Mizan El Zan, from corner to corner. What does this mean, from corner to corner? Says the holy Chassam Sofer. This world is like a preparation. This world is a preparation for Olam Haba. This world is like a sha'ar. What's a sha'ar? A gate. Okay. By the way, what's the gematria of sha'ar? 570. Okay, keep that in mind. 570. 570. Says the Chassam Sofer, look at this. Koi herani Hashem yisbarach. This is what God showed me. Now, can any of us say that? That, God came to us and showed us something? If yes, you can't admit it, right? But Chassam Sofer says twice. Number 1, he says, I want to tell you what Hashem told me, and I'm going to show you what God showed me. And that is how many days in a year? 365. How many weeks in a year? 52. How many holy days a year? How many Shabbosos? 52. Okay, write that down. How many Yomim Tovim? 5. 2 days Pesach, 2 days Sukkot, first day and Shmini Atzeres, 1 day Shavuos. 5 Regalim. Total of 57 holy days a year. Okay, that's number 1. Got that? No, because that's not going to work out with our numbers. Okay? So we're doing 52 Shabbosos and 5 Yomim Tovim. 52 Shabbosos and 5 Yom Tovim. That's 57 holy days a year. How many years does a person live? So David HaMelech says, Yemei Shnei Seinu Bahem Shivim Shana. You got 70 years. You're not chayv in mitzvahs until you're 13. So you have 57 years. Got it? So you have 57 holy days a year and 57 years. How many holy days in your lifetime? 57 times 57. Any accountants over here? No, Isaac, what's 57 times 57? The Chassam Sofer says 3,249. Okay, 3,249. Good, you got that? That means life consists of 3,249 holy days. Okay? Now a life is like an amma. Yeah? Life is an amma, right? Anoichi mitzavecha hayoim. Life is like an amma. But a day, if a life is an amma, then a day is a tefach. So if 3,249 is an amma, how much is a tefach? 3,249 divided by 6. 3,249 divided by 6, says the Chassam Sofer, is 541 and a half. We're not going to deal with the half right now. Okay? 541. 541 is Gematria Yisrael. A Jew, what's a Jew? A Jew is his holy days. The Jew is his holy days. How many holy days are there? 3,249, but divided by 6, because days are tvachim. So if 3,249 is an amma, then a day is a tefach is 541. That's Yisrael. The life of Yisrael is 541. What do you do with the half an amma? Some Sofer has a Kabbalistic explanation. What you do with the extra half an amma. Okay? So far you got that? Basically? Don't worry. The rest of you don't have to get this. Okay, so let's just review one more time. There are 57 holy days a year. 52 Shabbos, 5 days of Yom Tif. 57 years of life from 13 till 70. A total of 3,249 holy days. Life is like an amma, anoichi mitzav chayoim, and a day is like a tefach, which is 541 Yisrael. Fine. So let's take that a little bit further. And that is, there are 57 holy days a year, and how many Aseres Yemei Tshuva a year? Trick question, right? How many days of Aseres Yemei Tshuva are there a year? 10. Very good. So how many Aseres Yemei Tshuva do you have in your lifetime? 570 also. 10 times 57. 570. That's the sha'ar, the gate, 570 to Olam Haba. The sha'ar to Olam Haba is 570. 10 days of Aseres Yemei Tshuva for 57 years. Okay, now, there's 365 days a year. 57 days of holiness plus 10 days of Aseres Yemei Tshuva, a total of 67. So how many regular days of the year are there minus those 67 days? 298. Chatzer is 298. The weekdays are like the courtyard for the world to come. Okay? So now we've already seen 3 different significances. Is there such a word? There's no such word. We're going to make a new word now. Significance, right? There's no such word. There's a machlok, Okay, I won't get into that. Actually, just so you should know, when does plural in English become I? It depends whether its root is Latin or a different language. Okay, yeah, you don't need to know that. Fine. So it comes out we've learned 3 different areas where the number 57 is significant. Number 1, there are 57 years of life. Number 2, there are 57 holy days a year. Number 3, there are 570 days of Aseres Yemei Tshuva in your lifetime. Fine. Let's proceed. Now, Sfardim, I don't know, we don't have any Sfardim tonight. I don't know what happened. They say, and also I think Hasidim also say, before they eat, they say Mizmar LaDavid, Hashem Roi Lo Yachzar. Sometimes they even say it between the Til Sidayim and Hamoitzi. Yeah? I think so. That they wash until Sidayim and they say Mizmar LaDavid, Hashem Roi Lo Yachzar. Why? Because Al Pi the Ari and the Zayar, before you eat, you need to daven for your food. So Mizmar LaDavid is a request for your food. So therefore says the Ben Ish Chai in Parshas Emar, Shana Aleph, Parshas Vayera, Shana Beis, that you should always say Mizmar LaDavid because you're davening for your food. How many words in Mizmar LaDavid? 57 words. Because you want food. What's food? Zun. 57. Okay? You want food? You want zun? Now you say, I don't want food. Yeah, I know. You want money. Money is food. It's synonymous. Okay? So zun, you want money? 50, say Mizmar LaDavid. Say, okay. Sounds easy enough. I'll say Mizmar LaDavid. We have this, I was always asked, why do you say Mizmar LaDavid 3 times by Shal Shudas? Some people, that's like the biggest obligation in the Torah. To say Mizmar LaDavid 3 times by Shal Shudas. Why? Why are you saying it 3 times? Hold your horses. Comes the Ben Ish Chai in Parshas Mishpatim, and he says on the pasuk, "Va'avadetem eis Hashem Elokeichem," you will serve Hashem your God. Uveirach es lachmecha v'yes meimecha, and He will bless your bread and your water. Says the Ben Ish Chai, number 11. Chachomim say avoida is tefillah. What's tefillah? Shachris mincha maariv. Now, how many blessings in Shemona Esrei? Shraga, what do you say? 18. That's what it used to be. In North Woodmere, they say 18. We added one, right? 19. So, okay, 19. How many times a day do we daven Shemona Esrei? How many blessings of Shemona Esrei do you say a day? 57 brachas. You want zon, you want food, you got to daven 3 times a day. 57 for 57. Now we understand why on Heinz ketchup it says 57 varieties. What's the pshat? Why 57? Why 60, not 63? Why not 50? The answer is, stama yediyah ba'alma, that's a waste of time. There aren't 57 varieties. Even in the 19th century, when they invented Heinz, they already had more than 60 varieties to bat. But Mr. Heinz, his favorite lucky number was 5, and Mrs. Heinz' favorite number was 7. So he randomly put on the bottle 57. But he didn't know the shiur. But the hashgacha had it that he writes on, when you think of food, you think of ketchup. So ketchup, 57 varieties. That's extra, no extra charge for that, okay? But even on Heinz ketchup, 57. Says the Ben Ish Chai, what else is food? Dagan. Dagan. What's dagan? 57. How do you want dagan? You got to daven. 57 brachos. Now, what's the root of food? The root of food is Hashem's rachamim. Kale, havaya. Kale is 31, havaya is 26. What's kale havaya? 57. Okay. Like it says, Kale Hashem vaya'er lanu. Okay, remember that. Vaya'er lanu. What's lanu? Lenu. Lenu to 56. Kale Hashem 57, vaya'er, it illuminates lenun vav. Keep that in mind, because Ben Ish Chai doesn't comment on that. Kale Hashem is rachamim gemurim. B'schus, the 57 brachos, it's ma'oirer. Kale havaya 57, and then we're zoichet to food. That's the pshat, says Ben Ish Chai. Mizavenu meleim evikim. Your storehouses are full. Mizan, from the 57 brachos, elzan, you get food. So we could say like this. Storehouses doesn't just mean your pantry. Oh, in my pantry, I have macaroni, I have spaghetti, and I have oatmeal. That's back in the day. Nowadays, what's your storehouse? Your storehouse is your checking account, your savings account, your investments. That's your storehouse. So what helps the economy improve? What keeps inflation away? Having kavanah for this 57 brachas. So what does it mean if the economy is not so good? It means we're not having enough kavanah. But it's all mizan from the 57 brachas, you get zan. Or there's a pasuk in Shoftim. Min ha'oichel. The word oichel, what else is oichel? Oichel is kale chavav, 57. Yeah, you see that? Oichel, aleph, vav, chaf, lamed. Kale, chavav. So you have dagan is 57, oichel is 57, kale Hashem is 57. From kale Hashem, min ha'oichel yotza machel, you get food. Okay, so now we're learning that the key to sustenance is what? The 57 brachos of Shachris, Mincha, Amar. So we have 57 days of holiness a year, 57 years of life, 57 words in Mizmar LeDavid, 57 brachos of Shemona Esrei. Kale Hashem gets you oichel and dagan. So far, so good? You with me? Fine. There's something called grass. Grass you eat, especially if you're a cow. Okay? Desha. If you look in Parak Shira, you look at the song that the Desha said, the herbiage, the sustenance, the herbiage says, Yehi chavoid Hashem li olam. When do we say that? Shachris, yeah? Says the Arizal, Yehi chavoid. This is Gematria. Kale Hashem, 57. Why? Because the grass is the food. If you want food, you need to be ma'orer kel Hashem. And then you get zan. So it says Yehi chavoid. Yehi chavoid is 57. But it's very interesting. Remember we learned many, many times, there are 13 ways to darshan the Torah. Kal v'chomer, Gzeira Shava, Binyanav, right? And the 13 Midas Shatar Nirashis Behem correspond to what? Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim. Which is the first of the Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim according to the Arizal? Kale. Hashem is like the fatherhead. Kale, Racham, Chanon. Fine. Kale. What's the first of Yud Gimel Midas Shatar Reshes for him? Kal v'chomer. By learning Kal v'chomer, you arouse Hashem's midah of Kale. Who's the first one who ever made a Kal v'chomer in the whole Torah? Because that's going to be full of rachamim and probably full of food. So the Gemara in Chulin says on Daf Samach, Yehich, look at number 14. Yehich chevoid Hashem li oilam yismach Hashem b'masav. This pasuk was said by the minister of the world. When Hashem said leminehu by the ilanois, so the grass made a kal v'chomer. That if trees need to be separate and trees don't grow together, it's not like you see an apple tree and an orange tree and they're shaking hands, they're embracing. The apple tree is over here and the orange tree is over here. They can't get too close anyway. And God said, stay apart. The grass and the bushes that they're mamish prutzim, they get all over, they get mixed up into each other. So says the Gemara, the grass said, if the trees have to be separate and they're naturally separate, certainly we have to be separate. That means the first one to make a kal v'chomer was the grass. That means the grass is full of kale. The grass is full of kale, it's full of food. That's why the grass says, Yehi Chevoid, which is 57. Let's take this further. Because right now, how many brachos of Shemona Esrei are there a day? 57. Comes the Avudraham, and the Avudraham says that the source of all sustenance is Shachris Mincha Amarav. Look at number 16, that's alluded to in the pasuk, Ve'ehemeh. Ve'ehemeh is Vav, Aleph, Hey, 12, plus Mem, 52, plus Hey, 57. Says the Avudraham, in the merit of the 57 blessings, God gives us food. Says Avudraham, look at number the second paragraph. V'yesh la'adam leida, a person should know, shehazohir betfilois kesiknam beschusam hunizain. In the merit of being careful in the regular tfilos, one is sustained. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you parnasa. Because the gematria of the number of brachos you say is zon. You say, how come I don't have enough parnasa? Well, you have to make sure you say the 57 blessings of Shemona Esrei properly. Says Avudraham, it's more than that. It's more than 57 blessings a day. Every bracha of Shemona Esrei has 57 blessings. How do you get that? Right? Even in North Woodmere, they don't have 57 blessings in one bracha, in one Shemona Esrei. Very simple, the Avudraham says. I actually saw this first, the Beis Yosef quotes this in Siman Kuf Chav Dalet. Huh? Chazor Sashatz. So that's 38. So first I say the silent Shemona Esrei. That's 19. Then the Chazan says it and I hear it, Shoymei HaKoina. That's another 19. Then when I answer Amen, it's like I said it again. It's another 19. 57 for each one. So you say that's good for Shachris and Mincha. What about Maariv? First you say Baruch Hashem li olam amen v'amen. 19 psukim. In the 19 psukim, there are 19 mentions of Hashem's name with Amen. Another 19. And then you get 19 brachos. So each Shemona Esrei of the day is 57. So if you want to really have zon, you got to daven 3 times a day. So I always thought, so what do you do on Shabbos? You're missing not just 157, you're missing 3 57s. So wouldn't it come out good if there was something on Shabbos that we said that was 57 3 times? So maybe that's why we say Mizmor LaDavid 3 times on Shabbos, because we got to make up 3 57s that we're missing during the week. Maybe. I never saw that anywhere. Okay. So that's very interesting. You have 57 years of your life, 57 holy days a year, 570 days of Asar Simei Tshuva. You got 57 words of Mizmor David, 57 brachas in the 3 Shemona Esreis, 57 brachas in each Shemona Esrei, to get Dagon and Oichel ve'ehemeh. So I have a good friend in France, Rafal Ansel. Rafal, I have a good friend of yours here. Reb Doiv came to the Shiur because he knew you had a contribution to the Shiur. So A few years ago, I said on a shiur that I want to speak about the topic 57. This has been brewing for like 2 to 3 years. Now, so we said, what happened today? I need to say a shiur. So that's what happened. But no, this has been brewing for a while. And I was always looking for the right opportunity. And Rabbi Fall sent me a few interesting maramakoimos. First of all, how old was Yehoshua ben Nun when he fought against Amalek? Let's see if anybody could guess how old Yehoshua was when he fought against Amalek. So Megala Mukay says 57. Kael Hashem. So what are you going to do with that? By the way, that the Megala Mukay says is Merumas. Hashem says to Moshe, Ata Hachilaz Zara says as God L'cha is 57. So I would say very simply, when did Amalek come to attack Klal Yisrael? What Parsha? No? When did Amalek come to attack Klal Yisrael? Vayavai Amalek vayilachem imso b'refidim vayomer Moshe el Yehoshua b'chelanu anashim v'tzei lachem Amalek machar anochi nitzav ha'rosh v'atel lachem b'yadi Vayas Yehoshua kasher amar lo Moshe lilachem Amalek u'Moshe Aaron v'choralu rosh ha'givah. The end of B'shalach. What happened right before? The man. So Amalek doesn't like the man. Because the man shows Yud Kei Vav Kei, Yismuchu HaShamayim v'Sagal Ha'aretz, the connection between heaven and earth. Amalek is like, God, stay up in Shamayim, Ka, Yismuchu HaShamayim. You're not connected to the world, v'Sagal Ha'aretz. So Amalek is coming to attack the fact that Hashem gives us Zon. So who's going to counterattack Amalek? Yeshua. But he got to be 57 years old, because Amalek is coming to disprove Zon, so we need Yeshua to uphold Zon, 57 years old. Next, the Toldos Yaakov Yosef, my friend Rafal sent me, says that how old was Amram when Moshe Rabbeinu was born? Amazingly, 57 years old. What are you going to do with that? Okay, Moshe was the one, Hazanas Alim Klov Tavei, the man. Okay. This one I found. Lately I've been talking about this a lot. Friday night we say V'yanuchu ba. Shabbos day V'yanuchu bai. Shabbos mincha V'yanuchu bam. Ba is 7. Bai is 8. Bam, 42. 7, 8, 42 is 57. Says the Knesset Hagdolah. He is early Achroin. Kaminyan Zon. On Shabbos, which is the Makar of Bracha, we're trying to gain the Hazana of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so we say Ba, Boy, Bam, 57. Next. In what merit does Hashem give Klal Yisrael sustenance? Karbanos on the Mizbeach. Mizbeach is Gematria. 57. Now listen to this. The Pasuk says, Kerachoik Mizrach Mimarav, like the distance the east is from the west, Hirchik mimenu es peshainu, Hashem distances our sin. Like east is distant from west. How distant is east from west? East and west are not that close, right? East, Mizrach, is 255. Marav is 312. Difference is Mizbeach. The Mizbeach is what keeps away the Averos. Kerachak Mizrach Mimarav. What keeps the Averos? Kerachak Mizrach Mimarav. Fine. Here's another one from Rabbi Rafael. Okay? Rashi in Parshas Pinchas counts up all the families counted in Parshas Pinchas. And Rashi says, you know how many families there are in the Jewish people? 57 families. And 8 families from the Levium, a total of 65. That's the pshat. Ki atem ha-me'at mikol amim. You are ha-me'at. 5 fewer than the nations of the world. The nations of the world are 70 and the Jewish people are 65. 57 Yisraelim, 8 Kohanim. Says the Chassam Sofer, 57, why? Keil Hashem. Plus the Kohanim, which is a total of 65, is Aleph Daled Nun Yod, is 65. And then, how many psukim Parshas Bahar, which is the Parsha of Shemitah, which is also like Shabbos, the Makar HaBracha, 57, that was also from Yedidi Reb Rafael. Now I want to show you something I found, which is Oyam V'Noira. I could have ended the shiur if I would have stopped at 3 p.m. today, because I give the shiur very quickly in the morning to a chabura, but after she was over, it was like, it wasn't a great one. I could have pulled it off, I could have sold it, but it wouldn't have been, Okay. Anybody here named Zavulan? Why not? Why not? Does anybody know how to spell Zavulan? So we got a Zayin, we got a Beis, we got a Lamed, we got a Nun. But there is a Vav, at least one Vav in there. So do you spell Zavulan Zayin, Beis, Vav, Lamed, Nun? Right? Zavulan? Or do you spell it Zayin, Beis, Lamed, Vav, Nun? Zevulun. The word is Zevulun. So where's the Vav? 2 Vavs? 1 Vav? I didn't know this. In the beginning of the Torah, he spelled Zayin, Beis, Lamed, Vav, Nun every time. The Vav is between the Lamed and the Nun at the end. Once Yaakov Avinu gives the bracha, Zevulun, L'chayf Yamim Mishkan V'hu, L'chayf Aniyos V'achasai Al Tzidain, his name is spelled Zayin, Beis, Vav, Lamed, Nun for the rest of the Torah. So that itself was worth the price of admission. Who could have even noticed such a thing? Okay? It's wild, no? It's wild. I mean, asking who nobody knows that even. I couldn't believe I saw it. I said, how could I not know this? The word changes. Okay? Until the bracha, it's Zayin, Beis, and I actually checked it up. I could just say it over and say nobody's gonna check you. But I checked it. At first, when he was born, it's Zayin, Beis, Lamed, Vav, Nun. After the bracha, Zayin, Beis, Vav, Lamed, Nun. Says the Sefer Torah Or of Rabbi Yaakov Moshe Kleinbaum. I don't know, he could have been a rabbi down the block. I'm sure he was a very chash. I'm not sure who it is. From the print of it, it looks like it's a more recent, maybe in the last 100 years. He says he heard that the word bull, Beis Vav Lamed, means Kol HaTorah Kula. Beis is the Beis of Bereshis. Vav is the middle letter of the Torah, Gachain. And Lamed is Einei Kol Yisrael. So Beis Vav Lamed, the first letter, the middle letter, the last letter. So in Zevulun is the whole Torah. Why? Zon! Because he supports his brother. He supports Yisachar. He supports Torah. So since he supports Torah, in the Zechus of Zon, he gets the whole Torah. But until Yaakov said that Nevuah, that Zevulun's job is to support his brother, he didn't do that. He didn't have that. So therefore it's spelled Zayin, Beis, Lamed, Vav. He didn't have the Torah in order. It was only given to him in the merit that he supported Torah. So once he supported Torah, it's spelled Zayin, Beis, Vav, Lamed, Nun. It's unbelievable. Very interesting. Or you could say, a little twist, that in the merit of his Beis, Vav, Lamed, the merit that he supports Torah, Zon, God gives him sustenance. Meaning, why is Zevulun successful making money? You could say it the other way. One way to say it is that Zevulun is zoichet to all the influences of Torah. There's an idea, when Zevulun supports Torah, he's protected from the Yetzer Hara as if he would be learning. Chavetz Chaim says someone who supports Torah in the world to come, he will know Torah like a Talmid Chacham. So one way to say it is, in the merit of being Mezin Yisachar, he's Zoicha to Beis Vav Lamed. Another way to say it, in the merit of the Beis Vav Lamed of supporting the Torah, he himself is Zoicha to make money. Why is Zevulun successful in business? He's successful because of what he does with his money. So that would have been the end of the shiur at 3 o'clock. Say, okay, what do we do with that? Okay, good, 57. I mean, the most memorable part of the shiur is going to be the Heinz ketchup bottle. What? Okay, right?
What did you learn today?
Not only do you learn Torah, you learn about the history of ketchup. Okay, so we have 57 years of life, 57 holy days a year, 570 days of Aser Simei Tshuva. 57 words in Mizmor LaDavid. To get Oichel, to get Dagon, to get Zon, through the 57 brachas of Shemona Esrei, each 3 times a day, each bracha, each Shemona Esrei is 57. Yehi Chavoid is 57. Yehoshua was 57 years old when he fought Amalek. Moshe's father was 57. The Mizbeach is 57. 57 Jewish families. What are we going to do with all this? So I felt we have to uncover more. It says right before the Akedah, Vayagar Avraham be'eretz Plishtim Yomim Rabim. Says Hagon Rabbi Meir Shapiro. Does anybody know how many forces of Midas Hadin there are in the world? Par. 280, yeah? Isaac knew that. What? Oh, very good. Mansepach. Explain. The end of letters. The Seifei Tevis. Final Mem 40. Final Nun 50. Final Tzadi 90. Final Pei 80. Final Chaf 20. 280. There are 280 forces of them. The end letter. The end is like the bad guys. You know. Menatzpach. Mem Nun Tzadi. Even though we've said in other Shiurim that the final Chaf is 500, the final Nun is 600, but it could also be regular, like 40, 50, 90, 80, 20, 280, 280 forces. That's why the power is scary. 280 forces of din. Okay, you got that? Now, the 280 forces of din could also be broken down into 5 groups. What's 280 divided by 5? By 5. 280 divided by 5. 50. There you go. 56. 56 is nu. Nun vav. 56. 56 represents Midas Hadin. Okay? That's why if someone's talking about davening, you say, no! Meaning, you're destroying the world. You're bringing disaster to this world. Earthquake, tornado, tsunami, misa, cherev, all kinds of bad stuff. So we say, nu. Why nu? That's just my own chat. Why nu? Midas Hadin. But nun vav is Midas Hadin. Okay, and we're gonna says Rabbi Meir Shapiro, the way you're mamtik Midas Hadin, the way you transform Midas Hadin into Midas Harachamim, is you take HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Aleph, Alufa Shalaylam, and you add it to 56, and you make 57. So that alone was enough this was a major addition to the whole shit. Now we understand, well, who ever heard of 57? What is 57? What's the significance? Why is 57 getting me food? Why is it getting me life? Why is it getting me holy days? Why is it getting me oichel? Why is it getting me dagon? Why are all the good things happening at 57? Because 56 is Midas Hadin. So when you want to up it, you stick in Alufei Shaloylam on nu, you get 57. That's the pshat. You ready for this? Kael Hashem 31, 26, 57. Vayoer, it illuminates Lanu. That's from the Ari, I believe. Kael Hashem 57. Vayoer Lanu. So how long did Avraham live in the Eretz Plishtim? Yomim Rabim. Okay. Now, Yom, what's the numerical value of Yom? Yud Vav Mem. 56. Yomim is 2 yoms. Rabim is 3 yoms, a total of 5 yoms. 5 yoms, 5 times 50 is 280. Avram Avinu was trying to knock out the 580. Now, listen carefully. How does Avram Avinu do it? If you add 1 to 280, you get 281. That's Efer. So Avram Avinu at the Akedah, after going to the Eretz Plishtim for Yomim Rabim, 280, he becomes the Efer of Yitzchak is 281, and we could say, one added Chidush, the Efer of Yitzchak is situated where? On the Mizbeach. The Efer, one-ups the 280. Mizbeach one-ups the Ilanu, the new, 56. Fine. Ooh, now we come to the holy B'nai Yissaschar. I need a siddur. Here. Now we understand in Yoshev B'Seiser Elyon. What's Yoshev B'Seiser Elyon? That's the Shiur of Pegoyim that talks about all the monsters and the demons and all the Pegoyim. The Tzel Shaka Yisoino, and there was a Machsim Tsudasi, where we need protection from all the forces of Din. What do we say right before Yoshev B'Seiser Elyon says the B'nai Yissaschar? V'hinayam Hashem Elokeinu Aleinu Umase Yadeinu Kainena Aleinu Umase Yadeinu Kainenehu. 5 news. Why? We got to knock out the 280. That's right before Shir Shabagam. Let me get you exactly what the 5 news are. The 5 news are knocking out the 5 forces, the 5 news. Let's get that. Here. Yoshev B'Seiser Elyon is 91, is chapter 91. So we say, V'hinayam Hashem Elokeinu Aleinu Masi Yadeinu Kana Aleinu Masi Yadeinu Kaineneo. Those are the 5. Okay? Now, if we're taking each 56 and we're going to add 1 to each one, so each 56 becomes 57. 57 times 5 is not par, it's para. So that's the concept of para aduma, is you're adding 1 to each force of 56, and each one of the 56 becomes 57. That's the meaning of lo yarpecha. Yarpecha, he will not reish pay you. We don't want Hashem to reish pay us. Chas v'shalom. Okay, so now the first step is, you ready? First step is, this gives us insight into the significance of 57. 57 is mamtik the dinim, as Rabbi Meir Shapiro says, that we take the alufay shalaylam, we take the aleph, and we take the aleph and we turn 56 into 57. By the way, the Megala Mukha says that's why Avram Avinu went to Eretz Plishtim. Plishtim is 860. Because 860 is 10 times 86 Midas Hadin. Avram Avinu was trying to overcome that also. So it fits into that context. Now let's come to something else which is amazing. Because remember we saw that the number 57 presents itself in its ultimate form, how? 570. What's 570? The total days of Asar Simei Tshuva in our life. Well, I want to show you 2 more things. We have a mitzvah in the Torah, Aser to Aser. What's Aser? Like Shar. Aser is Ayin 70, Shin 300, Reish 200, 570. Aser is 570. Take 570 to Aser. Give Meiser on that. What is that? That's 57. So Rabbi Meir Shapiro says the mitzvah of Aser to Aser is also a form of being mamtik the dinim of getting to the core of 570. So it comes out like the core of 570 is 57, but the greatest expression of Midas Harachamim is 570. So this just hit me preparing the shiur. So what do we do to the shofar? Tikah is 570. That's the ultimate rachamim. It's 57 times 10. So it's the aser. It's the greatest expression of Midas Harachamim is tikah b'shofar gadol. It's tikiyah shofar. So then I was thinking, one last thing. So I think we gave the number 57 a significance that's meaningful. In other words, the significance of 57 is Midas Hadin is 56, and we overcome it by Midas Harachamim through Keil Hashem. So I was thinking, how many forces of din are there? 280. Par. So I said, this has to have something to do with the shofar. Because shofar is Shin Vav Pei Reish. So somehow, the Shin Vav has to have some kind of way to sweeten the Pei Reish. Yeah? Now, by the way, the Arizal says, the Pei Reish, you take your hand, you put your hand, Pei Reish is 280. How you mamtik 280? Making it para. You add a 1 to each 56. So when you put your hand on the shofar, the 280 becomes 285 para. Now, there's a concept, there are also 320 forces of dinim, shach dinim. When you take your yad, which is 14, and you put it on the shin vav, that becomes 320. So we don't understand everything, but you have to know, every finger that you lay in a dvar mitzvah, stuff is happening. Okay? But one last thing. You have Pei Reish. Pei Reish is 280. I'm trying to think, what's Shin Vav? What's Shin Vav? What's Shin Vav? What's Shin Vav? So I found the Yetev Lev quotes, and this is quoted from Reb Chaim Vital. Shin Vav is 306. Devash. The shofar takes the 284 of din and sweetens it into 306 honey. Isn't that amazing? Shin Vav is 306, and by blowing the shofar, you take all the forces of din and you sweeten the forces of din into honey. And this is rooted in Reb Chaim Vital. So the bottom line is that life is like a tefach. The tefach means there are 3,249 holy days, divided by the 6 tefachim is 541, Gematria Yisrael. The number 57 is the source of Parnasa, Keil Hashem. That gets you Mizan from the 57 brachas of Shemana Esrei, or the 57 brachas of each Shemana Esrei, gives you Zan, gives you Parnasa. You overcome the forces of Midas Hadin. And by doing that, the ultimate Rachamim is 57 times 10, which is Tekah, below the shofar. Aser to Aser, you take 10% of Aser, 570, you get 57. So if you want to have not just food, you want berevach, you want it with meat and ketchup on top, then you have to overcome the Midas Hadin, and that is accomplished by tefillah 3 times a day, and especially being mechavin to the Chazar Sashatz, answering Amen, and we should be zoichet to be mevatel all the koiches hadin, tekah b'shofar gadol 570. You take the pardinim, you turn it into honey, and you have a happy, sweet new year. Have a wonderful night. Thank you very much. Kol tov. Okay.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.